So I further changed the inspector of the brush, and now if you have a scale down here, let's give it this scale. You can constrain the properties, and then if I go up and down here, the ratio between the properties will remain the same. So the scale would remain the same if I do this. There's only one thing. So I did this yesterday. There's only one thing left to do. If I set this to 0, this actually works, but if I change the value now, it will say none. Doesn't throw an error, but what is nan? Nan, no. I don't know. I think it's null or something. It's definitely not valid. It's not a valid number. Yeah. I think it's something like no number or something. Why? Because we divide by 0. So I will have to make some programming here. Now you can't get out of this once the properties are constrained, because it listens to if something is changed, and if there's a change, it will always detect that and put that again to 0. I'm a little bit confused why I can't do this, because it should recognize that it has a new value in there, so it shouldn't divide by 0 now. It should. But here for this equation, there's a lot of things that don't work if one of these two is 0. Yeah. So let's first try to make an if and say this. There will be 3 ifs. We need to have these 3 in a vector 3. Change multiplier, and that is going to be divided by base value. Can we do that? Yes, we can. So this should be the same as these. Then we can check if one of these is 0, then put the value to change. No, 1. So it would be equal to the change that you do. Let's see if this handles the issue of dividing by 0. I think it doesn't. But let's see why. No, I still can't do it. So here it still works, I guess. It still works normally. But once I put these values to 0, can't get out of it. Okay. Okay, so how does that work? So I think it's not equal. It's not 0. It's, I don't know what happens if you divide by 0. It will. If this is 0, if the base value is 0, then we will get a not defined value, something that is not allowed. So what we're trying to do is, we're trying to do the same thing as in this scale. You can constrain the values here, and when you put them to 0, you can see how Unity actually reacts to this. Now watch this. If I put this to 0, and now I put it back to 1, it has at some point memorized that I did put this value to 2 and reacts on the ratios accordingly. So I think I know how it works. That assumes. Oh, I always assumed that they memorized the value just in the update function somewhere. They don't do that. They remember once you click on this. Now you have memorized the value, and you don't need to change the ratio between them. So if you click on this, you need to save up the original value. So what if I put in 0 here? Then it will gray out, because it tells you that it will not change anymore, because it wouldn't work, I guess. So we need to save up the original constraint in a value. So we are going over here and make a new private vector v. Constraint min scale ratio and same for max. And once you press constraint properties, we need to make a check here. And we won't want to pretty much just listen if these are the same. And we want to react if they are not the same. Why is it redundant check? I don't think this is redundant. Something, but I think it doesn't know that we want to do more things. Just say constraint okay. It also doesn't say it's redundant anymore because it didn't know that we wanted to actually do something only in this case. I think these need to be. This needs to be serialized. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this will do something. Super complicated, actually. Yeah. Just copying the thing. Reverse engineering. That's what Unity did. Here we need to make a check if the base value equals 0. Then this is going to be a vector 3, 0. Okay, now I should be able to change this. No, I still can't change it. Can I put them to 0? Yes, but I... Okay, 1, 2, 2. I should be able to put this to 0 and now to 1. I'll put this to 2, and it's basically the same as in Unity. Now it works even if I put it to 0. Should be for any value. Yeah. Okay, so I'm a little bit lucky. If I have them all at 0, and they won't do anything, because a ratio of 0, it's mathematically correct that everything is 0 now. Then you have to unlock the properties and say, okay, I want this at 2. Can I do something now? Can. Oh! That's not supposed to happen. That's not... I can put this to 6. 6, 4, 4. That's not supposed to happen. Now they are supposed to stay at 2. Okay. How do we do that? And the base value wasn't 0. Because of these 3, I think. Let's see what happens if I leave these out. I don't see why we need them right now. Probably they are now redundant. Let's put this at 0, 0, 2. Now it works as expected in this mode. 0, 2, constrain, 2, 0, 1, -1, -2. Yeah, it's perfect. Okay. Super. Okay, so just forgo what these did. Now we still have to put them into a method, because we are going to do this with the max scale and the min scale. So a newbie would do this, he would just put this, all of this into one piece of code, copy it in, and now say, okay, now this is min. Don't do this, that's bad coding. What we are going to do is we're going to make a method inside of this method. Inside of the class. We can put it into the method. It will be fine. You can also put it into the if clause. It doesn't matter. you can put it anywhere else. I'm actually not sure where if I have a guideline for that. Oh, now this won't work because we still need to make the code work first. Calculate. Scale. It won't be void, by the way. It won't be void, but it will be. It will be vector free. It will be vector free. Yeah. And this if clause is going to be inside of here. And we can put it into the if just to be lazy. I think being lazy is allowed. Okay. Take new scale. And then we have the old game. We're just going to replace everything inside of here that has the name min or max. So new scale, old scale, new scale. Do we need something else? Don't see that. Or maybe the property. Yeah. And now we need to actually use the method right over here. And then alt new constraint. So now we see that these are grayed out. We still don't use them. We have to replace. Where we use the values. Okay, now this should be independent. And we need to return. We need to return something. A new scale. A new scale. Yep. And it's quite what we do. Change things. Yeah, that's a good description. And now we should be able to use it also for the min scale. Take a look first. Differences. We also need to put some values first. Okay, there's something. And now this should work for both. Okay, it didn't. But it doesn't for min scale, so something's odd. It looks like we'll add too much. Oh yeah, there's error. Go again. Yeah, that seems to work just fine. And we can put this at 1. We can put them at 111 again. Okay, that's nice. So why is this toggle there? You might ask, why do I make fuss about such a seemingly not that important function? Is because it is very important to have this function. When I work with the brushes, and I wanted to just you just want to sometimes increase and decrease the size of the things that you draw, and then you don't want to go in here and every time you multiply this, you say I double the size. Yeah, now you have to also calculate this times 2, this times 2. Okay, it's easy, but and at this point, if you do this a lot, it's always very worth to write a function for that to make it faster. And you do this a lot, because you draw your things on the board, then you change the size, and you don't want the text to confuse you, distract you. You just want to draw your things. And then let's try this out. I mean, this project is already insane. I don't think many people will even need this ever. But the scope of this project is pretty insane, I would say. And you go in and I don't know why it's showing the stone by like this, but you want to go in and say, hey, the scale is too big, and decrease the scale. Why do I have 2 stones now? Oh, it's random. It's random. It will randomly determine one of the stones size. And this doesn't make sense, by the way. They should have the same ratio, by the way. So if you do this, on the system will be confused, I guess. You would work your way here, say make a random size. And that doesn't work, that's not good. There's a lot of things that are confusing right now. I also have pick random activated, but it always picks the same stone. And I also did this weird grid. I don't know, if I look at the game, this is just how it displays the stone. I don't know which... this is some kind of this is definitely some kind of displaying option. Don't know what the hell. So what it shows is, I think, the outline, the physics outline, but I don't know how to disable this. I want to see the actual stone. Oh, they are the same. I think I've got the same stone in here, but just with a different color. That's why I can't differentiate between the two. Except if I would find how to turn on the white view. Oh, there's something over here. Please. Cam. Raw modes. Must have been some shortcut that I pressed accidentally. Unity showing physic to D in scene view. Must find this. How can I view the normal shape of the normal rendering of the stones? I don't know. Oh, it looks like that. So think I have lightning on. Why are they all dark? Okay, they're not randomly picked. Okay, then they are picked at random. Ah, I override the color. So okay, pick random needs to be changed. So it's pick random on is pick random off and vice versa. That needs to change. And the max scale, need to change that. Keep rotation has to go inside of here. Use prefib scale has to be go inside of here. Foreground object has to go. Something that I don't use anymore. It was an experiment, but that won't be. That's making the thing too complicated. This was for things that you could put in the foreground, and then it would put on a mask on the objects, and if you were in front of the object, behind the object, the mask would automatically show your character even behind the object. But there was still a problem with the solution. I think min orientation, max orientation. I will rename this to rotation, because that is actually easier to get. And we have to reverse this. There's only one line where this is used, which is good. If you have such a thing and it's used in 20 lines, it's always a hassle to work with. So far, even though I think the lines of code that I have inside of here are way too much, even with the improvements that we did last time, when working with it, and changing values inside of the class. Nothing breaks, nothing is weird. At least that's something. Okay, now we need to get these prefab scale as properties over here. We need to see how min and max scale, how that works, because that didn't do anything. Let's not constrain the properties. Let's see what that does. I can't draw for some reason. Oh, there's an error. Okay. I think what happened is it forgot the cells, which is not good. Now I can draw again. So I know why I did forget the cell. I think it because I made this private, and if it's private, it's not serialized, and if it's not serialized, it's not remembered. So that's here over here. So we need to say realize. I think you can also make it public and can also make it public and then work with that. You can see that it works again. Make a change inside of here. Now let's see if it forgets that it has these objects. Yeah, it forgot that it has the objects because the wash cells are forgotten. Let's make a proof first that it works if we have the wash cells public. So let's first clean this up, drag them in, make a change here, and see if it forgets. No, now it doesn't forget. So it's related to the serialization inside of Unity. And this error is something else. Ignore that for now. So how do we make it private but serialized? I don't know. I know what to do, but I don't know how. Serialize private. Okay, I don't know. we still have some options. Serializable. So this is what will work. Serialized does not exist. Can we have serialized and hide an inspector? Is that possible? I think this is going to work as well. So it still remembers. And we don't see the field. Because we don't have a use for the field, that's why I don't want to show the field. To just get rid of all the functions that are overkill. Yeah? Okay. So that works. So we did a lot of things already, but BRB. Okay, yeah, I'm back again. So we still have stuff to do. First, the thing is, we see that the min scale and max scale isn't doing anything. Then we have to put the use prefab scale as proportions inside of the transform changes field, and we have to put the keep rotation option underneath the or over the proportions. Do you want to put this over or under? I don't know. We just have to make sure that it is understandable. I would say I would put it over the rotations so that it is the thing that you read first. So you first read the option, but it doesn't really matter. Right now I don't see a good reason for either way. Yeah. So all the arguments I come up with are pretty small. So I would say that you could make arguments for put this down here under the scale or up here, but I don't see any real reasons. Even with you read this first and then set the value, but you could also first set the value and then you could say, hey, and then the user is going to wander with his eyes to the next thing and find this and read what this does. So he knows first what the scale is and then sees the options for that. So for both ways, put this underneath or over the scale. There is an argument, but I don't see a good argument. But what we should have is a space between the scale and the offset here. Yeah, that is important, and also between the scale and the rotation. So how do we do that? I think it's very easy to do. This is using the old EMGUI system. And in this you can just say, give this a space. GUI layout, space. I think this, GUI layout, I need to GUI layout, space. I think it's like this. I can go in here, and I think that there will be a space between those two. Yeah, now this is the space that we just made. Let's make two. And then between the scale and offset, we also want two spaces. Now let's look inside of this again, and it should have a little more of a feeling like you can see this is a group, this is a group, and this is a group. It's not too much, but it helps. Yeah, so you can see more of a logic behind this. I think that if you look into transforms, you don't have this, but there you only have one vector, 3 for the position, rotation, and scale. So it's that wouldn't be necessary. Okay. Yeah, constraint properties. See if it picks a random object. Yeah, it picks a random object, but it doesn't do anything with the scale right now, which is not what we want. This does something. It's good. Let me take a look inside of here. There's something in, yeah, this is scaled down a certain bit. So if you use this option, the object will also be scaled down. When you look at this and this is irritating. This is the min scale. Okay, let's put the min scale and okay, that doesn't work anymore. I think it forgot in the properties. Let's draw. Now the scale of this should be 1, the other should be 0, 0, 6, 7. Yeah, this is 1. This is 0, 6, 2. Oh yeah, this is 0, 6, 2, so that's correct. So it takes this scale and multiplies it. If I change this, it will work. But I think if I change something inside of here and now try to edit this, it just forgot the original value. So we have to make these also being serialized. Oh, these are I think because they are not inside of this. I think we want to see them inside of the inspector, because this is an editor class. So let's make this experiment again. So we save that up. Let's make a change inside of here and look again. And it forgot. Okay. I think it's because because this is an editor class. Oh no, I don't know. I don't know really. I think this, it definitely forgets the original value. So first of all, can put this entire. We could put this into the brush. It's not good to do that though, because the value belongs inside of this class. Value should be inside of this class, because you would have an inspector class and you would have a tile brush, and everything that belongs to the how you show the thing and editing belongs inside of here. It doesn't belong into the game object tile brush. It will work inside the game object tile brush though. So that's the problem. It's easy to just put them out of here, put them in here. Let's maybe even do that. Just do that, and it will work. Yeah, you can just say we have to hide it. Make them public. Now we can just use them like this. Oh. Oh no. Let's never mind. Okay, now let it remember something. Okay, change something here, save. Let's see if we can or cannot edit this. Now you see that it remembers the value. Yeah, before it didn't, it just forgot the value. So I think we can't get the inspector to save up anything. So it's a technical limitation that we have to put this inside of here. Now I have to find where I put this. I will just put this down below somewhere. Usually, so my logic is it's normally like this. Things, oh no, it's public, so it's not down below. Everything that's needed inside of a class and only used by the class, it's down below. Everything that is public but not shown in the inspector is above. Everything that is public and private but in the inspector is above that, and everything that is public but in the inspector is above that. So first you see public inspector, private inspector, public, not in the inspector, private, and I think that's normally everything you use. I never use protected or anything abstract, I don't know. Anything else I don't know. And there's protected, private, public. Usually just use private and public. Let's see, there was a fourth one that I need to remember. Protected, private. What's the fourth one? There's a fourth one. And no modifier. Ah, okay. No modifier is also its own thing. Okay, I thought it was a third word, but yeah, protect. I've never used protected, to be honest. Why is protected nice? It's a really neat way to restrict the access from other programmers, and this is very good if you're working in a team and have a class structure to really teach people what you want this class to be used as and restrict how other people use your things. And sometimes you need to change things so that it just works. But if you change something from protected to public, it at least makes you think about it one time. And in a good environment, people will think, oh, maybe this is not supposed to be used outside of this class. Maybe the what is this, the world? It's in subclasses, not word. So this might be if you have, I think it's like this. You have the type animal, and then you have a deer, you have a cat, you have a chicken, and everything inside of this subclass can use the protected methods. But you don't want the things in the world to use the lay eggs. You may probably want to do that, but you don't want them to use things that I only used inside of the animal structure. You want maybe to have the heartbeat to only work automatically and not be influenced from outside. And then you make a protected method. Yeah. So you are sure that this is something that only animals do. But the stone cannot influence that. Because it's not an animal. It doesn't have access to it. And then maybe the next guy says, if throw stone at animal, increase animal heartbeat, and you don't have that. If the animal takes damage, its heartbeat increases, and then you change the modifier from protected to public, so you can just brute force the heartbeat to increase. Yeah, because you say, okay, and that's nice of a thug and such, but the process of programming it is too much. We don't have the time. The time spent is too much, or I went into a roadblock because one of the frameworks would break, and then you just change it from protected to public. The bigger the problem, the project, and the longer the project goes, the more it becomes a problem if you have people who use this behavior, who don't strictly divide, and things get much slower. You're supposed to be very fast as a programmer, always, but trying to make things fast. So it's always there's always a discussion there, and that's why I also say. It's a nice example. But that's why I always say, take things as absolutes. In the end, we have to make things and make things work. And everything falls apart if you can just put inexperienced people in front of it and they make it work faster, and it works. Yeah. Sometimes the hard solutions are not effective. And you can make things very complicated, but they can also become too complicated, that first the time spent is going to increase, always going to increase much further as you wish. And then the runtime, if the runtime is not working anymore, that's basically a project killer. Let's go on here. Yes. Getting distracted again. Okay. Want to use prefix scale as proportions. That's what we want to have inside. Use prefix. So this is supposed to be hidden, and we need to have this over here. Let's see if we can see the field. Yeah, it says a nice tooltip. That is nice. So even with this drop down, I think the brush is still a little bit cluttered. I wouldn't say that the default brush, wouldn't say that the Unity brushes are much prettier, but they are also very to say it, empty. Okay, let's go on here. And then we need to have one more rotation option, which is keep rotation. Oh, cat wants to go outside. A second. Okay, so let's go on. Yeah, keep rotation, yeah. Okay, that's where we are at. Da, 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 da. I think it's not public. Okay, now let's look up the tooltip and copy that over here. See, this is protected. Yeah, and we cannot use it because because we are an inspector class, which is not inheriting from this class, and this is yeah, and then we need to get rid of protected. There's only a few cases where you can use protected. I actually try to use protected here just to flex with my knowledge, and then I get rid of it. Yeah, interesting. So now this should not be visible anymore. Keep. Oh, there's an error, I guess. Now this looks like, oh, there's a lot of things that I can do over here. What is that? Yeah, let's see. Does the min scale work? No, it does not work. A min scale, a max scale, I cannot edit them. I click here. Interesting. I thought we fixed this. So let's give this additionally, if they are not initialized, let's give them vector 1 as default values. Let's see if they are not initialized. It seems like it did memorize something. So we are going to keep an eye on that. And we want to have a random scale of 1 or 2. Interestingly, it works. Interesting. Interesting. And you can see that it also squeezes the object. That's something that we need to toggle for, because this is really useful actually. It's really useful that it also squeezes the with the stones. You can see that it still looks realistic. With a lot of objects, having this in here is not going to work. And if you have, I don't know, flowers and they are squeezed too much, they're going to look off. So we need to have an option here to keep the ratio so it won't randomly squeeze. So it's really useful, but we need to give this an option. Yeah. Keep rotation, can't use that. I'm not sure why it's now working now. Because I thought the min scale and max scale was bugged for some reason. But it looks like it isn't. Let's look at the individual objects. Yeah, they all have a random value for their scale. And it really uses a random value for all of the three. Now you wouldn't do this to the Z value in 2D, it doesn't make sense. It's just there. And there's probably the one team that does something with quirky with a Z position. You normally don't squeeze 2D objects into Z space. It's a flat picture is, I don't know. I don't know if it's 0 in the 2D space if you look at it from the side. If it's infinitely flat. I don't know. Also, why does it work now? We need to keep an eye on that. I haven't changed anything. Maybe because the constraints. I don't know. No, something's off here. I don't know why this happened. But it's pretty weird that it's working now. Wait a minute. Okay. Now we need to have an option to constrain the aspect ratio. To So, yeah, okay, let's first make the options and then I will go on about the implementation. There's a little bit a big question what if the user has a different scale ratio than the max scale, but I have a solution for that. I'm not sure if I want to implement that because it doesn't really make sense to do that, but there's even a solution for that. So let's look at, where do we put in this boolean concern? That would be about here. you would have this over constraint in between those two, I guess. Keep this is aspect ratio. Huh? Is it? It's still aspect ratio, I think. Aspect ratio. So first we were just going to make the field. We can rename it later. First let's just implement the field. Constrain the property. This, and then we have what was the name of the keep aspect ratio? So if this is enabled, when randomizing the scale between the min and max, min and max scale values will keep the aspect ratio of the settings. That sounds dumb. The aspect ratio is okay, we have to change here. So we have this at the right place. Let's see if the toggles work. Toggles work, okay. If I had something completely wrong, this would change this property. It's actually pretty easy to mess that up. And if you have it like this, and the aspect ratio is 0.51, and when you're randomizing here, you see that it will pick a value between this, and it will go and pick a random value between this, but it won't keep the aspect ratio. And if you say keep the aspect ratio, you're only going to pick the first one, and then you want to keep the aspect ratio, which means that you would then take the value that you have 0.75, and you see it's 1 to 2, so 0.05. You don't pick a value between those two. Pick the x value, the new one, and multiply it by 2. In this case, now there's one problem here. What if the user does this? What if the user does this? Now you can toggle keep aspect ratio, and the aspect ratios are different. If you have a value of 0.75 and you have two aspect ratios, one is when it's small, the aspect ratio is 1 to 1. If it's big, it's 1 to 2. So you can just scale, okay? So with right in between is 0.1 Well, 1.5. Sorry. Yeah. So we have to adjust the scale like that. So we have to find the scale, the aspect ratio for that calculation. Yeah. I think it's something that you can do. Doesn't make sense. Probably. I don't think that this setting here makes sense, but I don't know. And then there's also the prefab proportions, but they are going to be added on afterwards, so we don't have to factor that in. If we would even factor in the original proportions of the prefab, that would be too much. Okay. So how do we now we have this new boolean. Now we need to make use of it. Now I'm searching for the right place for that. I'm just randomly looking at the code right now. That's not good. I have to look at the place where the paint function executes. And there's a lot of stuff in here. Some of this is not written by me myself. This is a not a template. It's an example. It was an example made by Unity, and I coded according to that. And now I have to look how the things inside of here are implemented. So one thing is now it keeps the aspect ratio still. If I make a change here, will it keep the ratio? Still keeps the ratio, but so it did forget the ratio at some point, but I don't know why. Yeah, probably. As I said, I will keep watching for this. It's the same with the error here. I'm watching this error, but I don't see a pattern why this error occurs. So for now, it's just keep watching. I really don't like it to have things undone, but it's the same like with this. This is also a lot of work. It has to be done. Yeah. So I shouldn't complain when I can't do anything. Or I shouldn't do anything if I don't know what I'm really doing. See where this method is used. It's used over here. I want to have two spaces underneath that. So underneath the transform changes on the inspector should be space now. Yeah, that's a little bit better.
Viewers on stream.com remove the space kfsrv 9.
Thanks. Brush. Quick brush cell. Should be something somewhere inside of. It could be somewhere inside of here. We also have to see when we're drawing. See that the scale. It's going to work. The scale when we draw is different from what the preview object is. Let's see, is the preview object always the same? Okay, the object is the same, but the scale isn't. And that's not good. So I think we can put in some work here. Because I think the scale is randomized 2 times. Constraint proportions. Yeah, that is done. I'll read that at the end. When drawing, deep preview scale. Okay, now we have to see. I'm a little bit dumb. I can just see where the min and max scale is used. So that way. Sorry. That way. Oh, yeah, okay. Just see where it is used. And that way I am completely clueless now. On Inspector GUI. Is that inside of here? No, that's not inside of here. Okay, so that doesn't matter. So these... let's just ignore them for now. What the fuck is this? This is when you create... Can set up brush. Okay, we will have to look at this later. I'm a little bit confused about that method. I think this is some kind of preset, but I don't really want to use that. On Paint Inspector GUI. Yeah, that's the functions that we just made. So all of these functions, they don't matter. They are not for displaying. This one should be where we set up the preview object. And there seems to be an interesting thing over here where the min scale is used. Why is it in here? It's just the min scale but not the max scale. It's interesting. And then the min scale over here is used for setup of random parameters. And that is used in Paint and Preview. And here the parameters are used for sets and scale. And here they are used for, oh, sorry. Set up drawn object. And here they are used for the scale. Okay. So we don't want to have that inside of here. If we get rid of that, let's see if it now picks the scale of the preview. And it seems like it doesn't do any randomization now. So I think this is also used in the preview. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. I think that the problem is raw. That the random parameters are randomized twice and then it's drawn. There's a preview option. Interesting. And without the preview option, it doesn't work anymore. Okay. Oh, we did draw something and we can't pick it. So I think that's broken. Can't pick any. Oh, I can't pick any of these. They're not drawn. What the? I don't have a clue. What is happening? I know that the local scale of them is not changed anymore. Holy shit! What the? Okay. I reload the scene. I think they will still be there. Yeah, they're still there because I'm not drawing on the scene. I'm drawing somewhere in the memory, I guess. So that's not good. I don't have a preview. Paint on scene group. Root. Oh, I don't have I don't have background. I don't have oh, that's the wrong scene. I don't have a grid right now. Now I have a grid, but I don't know. I think if I close Unity now, and open it up again, the stones that we just did draw, they will be gone now, because I think we just painted somewhere in the root. Yeah, they're gone. And then you can't get rid of the stones anymore. If I draw, not drawing anything, that's weird. Okay, but let's pick the example brush. That is what we actually wanted to do. That's another. Now we have a preview. That's nice. Now we can preview the things that we do and see that it does not do what we want before we draw. And then we just draw onto something. It's not the scene root that we are drawing on here, so that's definitely a bug that we need to fix. But I'm not sure where it is coming from. If you zoom out, it will still look fine, except that the things seem to be squeezed. And this is not a 1:4, no, 1:2 ratio. They're squeezed way harder than they should be. So that's also irritating. Is this really? Yeah. See, this is still 2D, but something's broken. And I still just have 20 minutes. Damn. I actually don't want to fix this right now. I don't. Probably it's pretty easy to fix, but yeah, let's just go on and see if we can find the problem. So we have this instance, the game object. I can't remember that we changed anything here. Not anything that would break it. Foreground object that will be gone. Actually, let's remove it right now. That's that foreground object that is going to be unnecessary. It's an option that you can program in again, but it was more than of an experiment than a solution. So this instance and the parent, And actually, we already solved the problem that it was just drawing somewhere, but not in this scene. It's just drawing, but it's not drawing in the scene, so it's drawing on all the scenes, but it's not drawing at all. It doesn't save it up. It's just drawing it. It's just drawing it. That's why you also don't see it being deleted. The question is, of course, why? It's not saved. Let's open this up again. Why does it do that, and how? Because you see that that there's already a solution for the parent. It should always find something inside the scene. If the parent is null, it will just pick the active scene. It shouldn't just draw somewhere. And even if the parent is null, it will still check if it's on scene root, which is what we are not. But it will always pick the scene. It will always pick the scene. So let's go into the example brush. Preview is not disabled. And let's draw a little bit. Can we pick these? Yes. So it did draw them. Paint on scene root. Did draw them. I think it's only if you disable preview. Disable preview will break. Okay. So that's good to know. Fix painting on editor memory when disabling preview. Yeah, okay, so we hold this down in knowledge that we have. We report the bug, and we also give them information how to replicate the bug. A very easy way to scrap the error. And keep at aspect ratio. Yeah, that's what we want to work first on. So we see in the preview info that the preview info is I think it's something that I just pass on from things that I previewed to the actual drawing function. I think it would be nice to get rid of this. which looks like a bad idea. Seeing that it is used in many cases. I see. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm making a cut here because I just see that we still have a lot of options. The options are like box fill and box draw, and then the preview function is going to be it's going to be difficult to keep the rotation of the preview object. If you have a box that you draw and you want all of the fields inside of the box filled out with objects, and that's I have this function already. Can go over something else, and that is what the task that we did today. Constrain proportions to x heights, y and z. That's gone. We did this, but we did this differently. We did it just exactly like Unity does it with constrain properties. Yeah, works like this now, and it works. It just works. Yeah, that's nice. When drawing, pick element only when random object is disabled. Oh yeah, that's still we done. Field. It's easy. When drawing, keep preview scale. We were looking at that, but it will take some time because there's a lot of functions, and we need to make a plan first to have one solution where you go at and pick out your things for the preview and for the drawn object. We don't want to pass on other things. We want to have a function one function that is going to draw, and that creates an object for the preview. And when we draw it, we want to just put that into the scene. And if we have disabled preview, we'll have to look into why that doesn't work. Then we just make the object when we are painting. But we just need one make object function. Yeah, we have an object. It's on the mouse right now. I think if you disable the preview, the thing that you see on the mouse right now, that is the thing that is drawing when we disable the preview. Yeah, I'm not sure why the aspect ratio is fucked up if we disable the preview, but that is what happens. Yeah, you see this preview on the mouse. Thing is, this preview thing is different from what we draw. It is transparent, it is not clickable, and it is not on the scene. Once we click, it is in the scene. The transparency has changed. But what we don't want to change is everything else. We only want to change these two things, and that means we actually can just keep the object that we have here and change two of its properties. Instead of what we are doing now is we create this object and save up a lot of information about the object, and once we click, we pass on all the information and do that again. And then we have things that are done and things that are not done. Obviously the aspect ratio, but I think the whole idea is flawed by if we just have one function to make a thing, we click, we then instantiate the thing just as we previewed it with the same, we just do changes on that. That is going to be a better method. Now, there's one thing that we have to keep in mind. If we have this box will function, and some cool things in here. You see, I can edit how much it spreads things inside of the box. Yeah? With some randomization, or I can say don't have randomization, but always keep 5 cells in between each. So they actually, because you can see that because the scale is now randomized. I have the same scale. You can see that there's a pattern in between them, because there's always 5 cells in between those. Yeah. If I do some randomization, you can't see the pattern. There's a pattern, but you can't see it. Why is there a pattern? Where can I mix this? This is very cool. This way you will always have space, have a little bit of space between them. Yeah. That's why these two options do exist. Yeah. Okay. So there's still a flaw. There's still a flaw. It checks for the space from left to right. Yeah, it goes in here from left to right, but it does not keep any space in these directions from top to bottom, because I pretty much don't have an idea how to come up with a good algorithm that does both of things, is safe. I think you can. If you just skip the next row, for example. That would do. Yeah, that's pretty easy to do. Actually, let's write that down. Keep space in. That's the vertical line. If drawing a box with draw empty cells. Okay. So we can also keep the distance between those. Could prevent clusterfucking, I think. We can try this out if it doesn't work. For example, I think I like this. If I had 5 spaces between the vertical line, it would look very, very empty, to be honest. So actually not what I would prefer, but yeah. I think this works very well because the actual object is stretched to the sides. If you have an object that is also very big to vertical line, this is not going to work, because then it's going to be looking quite more clustered like here. We want to avoid that. Okay. Let's go and say go for one of the test out function, make demo, repeat. Yeah. So I guess with the brush, why do I hear 2 songs? Okay, I think Something broke. Yeah, so see you next time. I'll be going to do some sports now, and till the next time. Yeah, bye.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction.